Joe in real life, squat every day, 130. I'm well rested. My body doesn't hurt so bad. I don't feel sick. I got the C cup today from my lady, Kaylin. It's her cup. I stole it. I'm not going to bog you down with a bunch of stuff today. I talked about death for an hour and a half yesterday. Won't be doing that again. I was thinking today I'd squat and maybe I'll show you some upper body work. You want to see that? This month has been a hypertrophy month and a lazy month in that I've just been kind of organic and disorganized and working out every day, but not doing anything, not working a real program. I've had a lot of fun. I'm thinking about converting to it fully, but also jury's still out. And I was looking at my notebook this morning and I've done like 4 upper body workouts in 3 weeks. That's not enough. So maybe I'll show you a little bit of that today. I'd put it up to a poll or a vote or something, but I'm filming this video today and I'm posting it today. So we're just gonna do that. I'm just gonna show you what I do. This is hypertrophy work. So a lot of sets of 10. I reserve the right to change my mind. Sometimes I have plans and my warm-ups have other plans. So that's part of being 45, guys. You know, you might be 25 out there. You might have a plan. You do a little warm-up, if you even warm up at all. When I was your age, I didn't. I just hit the weights. I just got to it. And your body does exactly what you say. My body mostly does what I say. But occasionally it makes a very strong argument against my plans. And on those days, I try to listen to it. It's more of that communication I was talking about. Traffic going 2 ways on that street, you know? My body tells me stuff, I tell it stuff. We use our breath, our prana, as sort of the telegraph lines. I'm breathing kind of heavy. I did a little thing earlier. It's okay. Yeah, breath is my telegraph line to my body. And we communicate to each other through it in a sort of Morse code. Anyway, squats, upper body basics, right? Let's do it. I'll see you soon. Stay tuned. So I'm going to try and do this video today in segments because I'm going to break it up a little bit. And really that's the only reason. It's just practical. And I worked up to a heavyish squat. This is 175. And I'll do 185 next. No box today. Gonna see if I can find depth on my own. I'm watching it for the first time, same as you. See how they look. Yeah, I'd say that's a little too deep. And it looked great, and it felt good. So I'm feeling pretty happy about that. No complaints, no notes. You know, I'm leaning forward too much, but I always am. And I'm just kind of accepting that might be the case with me forever. This is 185, a little bit over my daily minimum. And yeah, I just want to watch it. I just want to see. And then we're moving on to upper body. I'll show you my warm-ups first, or my pseudo warm-ups. The bracing felt a little squirrely on this. Yeah, too deep. I could be up like maybe even 2 inches. Right? Hey. I got 0 complaints about that. That felt good. My body's responding well. On to warm-ups. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can shoot this today in kind of this way style. And I'm gonna do the workout in time lapse. I can't tell if that's getting old for all of you or not, but it'll just make sense today. I can show you the whole thing. I'm gonna do a ladder, bench press, and kind of a cheat row. And I'm gonna just 30-minute block. Start with 1 rep of each, go all the way as far as I can in 30 minutes or to 10. I'm gonna do it superset style. I'm gonna take breaks opportunistically, and I'm just gonna try and get to 10 in 30 minutes. But before I do any upper body work, any at all, there's always, I'd call it a warm-up, but it's more of a diagnostic. Just some basic movements I go through. So these are them. And hopefully this works okay. Let's see. Let me know in the comments if this is shitty. How about that? Yeah. So this is not sophisticated, not on any level, right? So basically, I just swing my arms like an idiot. I just do stuff like this, you know? Not fast, but not slow either. Somewhere in the ballpark of 20 reps, yeah? And then I do stuff like this, you know? 20 reps, again, 20, 30 reps, you know? Sometimes I alternate them. And all I'm looking for, and I'm not getting any complaints today, which is nice, but all I'm looking for is hot spots. Any kind of warning sign. Anything hot, anything sharp, anything in a specific point, usually a joint, that has some complaints. And that doesn't mean I won't work out. In fact, quite the opposite. So, how do I word this? Imagine that your body is an animal, because it kind of is, but it's like it's your pet. It's an animal, you know? And it's not super brilliant, you know? So I'm trying to let the animal know where problems are going to be. So hopefully the animal will use its instincts rather than its reason to kind of keep me out of trouble, you know? I also do some hanging with some scapula push-ups or pull-ups. So basically I dead hang and I use my scapulas, just my scapulas, to kind of move up and down. I'm not doing this to any level. I'm not doing this to exhaustion or failure or anything like that. And I'd show you, except I left my stupid bar up. So I gotta take the weights off. I gotta do that myself. This is the same idea. I'm looking for anything around the scapula, anything in the rhomboids region, even your lats and traps, you know, that might be sharp, that might be specific in nature, that's got a reasonable gripe that I should listen to. And then I kind of trust my instincts to heed that warning, you know? That's that. I do not believe this is a proper warm-up. It is in no way adequate for warming up. But as I'm doing a ladder today, the warm-up is kind of built into the work. So like the first 3 or 4 sets are really kind of a warm-up, especially I'll try to do them somewhat fast. So I'm not going to do anything else. But typically I would do some crawling, some tempo push-ups, even some pull-ups, you know, or scapula pull-ups. And that's a pretty good upper body warm-up. Okay, on to the workout. Okay, so this is my silly little ladder. I'm filming it in time lapse. I put the belt on for the first round and take it off. It was unnecessary, and I didn't want to use it unless it felt purposeful. Basically, what you're seeing is 1 bench, 1 row. I have a 30-minute clock. It ends at 30 minutes, or if I hit 10. So in the beginning, the first few rounds, I'm doing pretty quick, just because I want to save up my rest time for the last few rounds. And I expected this to be harder than it was. Like, the last 2 rounds definitely smoked me, but it wasn't that rough, really. I mean, I could do it with 150. In fact, I might try that next week. We'll see. Upper body work. For whatever reason, I seem to be doing, well, really, I lift whole body every day, but it's looking more and more like an upper lower lately. And that wasn't by design. That's more just an accident, you know? I say I haven't done that many upper body workouts, but I've done quite a bit of crawling, quite a bit of calisthenic style upper body stuff. So I don't know why I'm not counting that, but just generally I don't. And you might also be thinking something along the lines of, well, this is a neat little thing you're doing, but why don't you do like a traditional upper body workout, like a bodybuilding rep and set scheme, or a power building, or a conjugate, or 5x5. Pick your poison, you know? Why don't you try one of these more tried and true methods of hitting your upper body? It's a good question, and I wish my answer was more exciting, but I just don't want to. And I didn't have a ton of time today, and I didn't want to spend forever in the gym. So I just came up with a little game to help me get everything done in roughly a half hour. The whole workout probably took me an hour total, but yeah, you know, a spirit of playfulness and joyfulness, as opposed to some sort of mandated structure that I just have to do. And that brings me to, I guess, a point where the thing about working out every day that maybe doesn't get talked about, or doesn't get talked about accurately enough, is that your body's going to send you really, really, really clear signals. You know, people like to say they're doing it by feel. And I mean, that's a true statement, but it's a little more in depth than merely hand quotes feel. Like, my body tells me in no uncertain terms, not what I can get away with today, but if I do something today, will I be functional for the next 3, 4, 5 days, you know? Like my squat earlier was a good example. I squatted 185 for 1 very easily. Or it at least felt easy in my little boy heart, you know? And I could have definitely done 205. I probably could have done 225. But my body sent me a clear signal. Like, do not do that, dummy. You will pay for it in a few days. You know, you're going to be on your feet all night tonight. And if you put 205 on your back, it doesn't mean you will absolutely have problems later, but you could. And if you have problems later, those are going to cascade. And they're going to cascade into the future and cause you all sorts of problems, potentially harm, potentially irreparable harm. I don't love that, you know, so I try to avoid it. As you can see, I took off my handy dandy Ivan Jurek hoodie. It's not cold in my garage. I just had it on because it keeps me warm. You know, it keeps my body warm, it keeps my joints warm. But at a certain point, it was just sopping up sweat. So I put it down, and I think we're in the last couple sets here. Again, this is just 135. Sets 9 and 10 were hard. And when I do a ladder like this, which really isn't that often, my goal is that set 10 won't just be hard. It'll be like a 50-50 chance I can get it. I did a little breath work there. I'm not like some old sage on a mountain. I was just trying to get my breath under control for this big set. Trying to get my body out of a fight or flight state so that I could get 10 reps. And yeah, I think we're about ready to do it. I'm kind of on the fence about this time-lapse stuff. It's like, I do think it's fun and an efficient way to film, but I can't really check my form, although I gotta say those benches looked pretty good. 135 is roughly 60% of my max, like, depending on the day, 57 to 60, somewhere in that ballpark. Oh, I ran out of time again. I'm here in my woods by the old dairy. Look at this place. Can you see that tree in the background? Look at that fucking tree. It's super cool. Really witchy. Yeah. So, outro, right? Final thoughts. What are you gonna do? I gotta work tonight. 3 to 10. Not a long shift, really. But like I said, I'm gonna be on my feet. So I'm trying to behave myself. I feel really good today, but I don't want to go too hard, because I know, like I said earlier, I'll pay for that crap. To my new followers, if you've watched this long, thank you so much for your support and attention. I can't tell you what it means to me. You know, this is quite obviously an amateurish channel, and It's just for fun, you know? So I'm very flattered that any of you would be interested at all. But also this, if you're doing stuff on social media and YouTube, I think there's like 5 or 6 of you now that I follow pretty regularly. Put a comment below. Don't be shy. I'll happily follow you. We can boost each other. We can do whatever you want, man. I don't care. I like this game. I think it's really fun. And I think I have a slight advantage in that I don't care where it goes. I don't care what happens at all. I'm going to make these videos every day because I enjoy it. And I enjoy your questions, comments, concerns, and scathing criticisms. I've been enjoying talking with all of you and getting some feedback, which the vast majority of it, the true lion's share, has been stuff I haven't thought of, A, and worth considering, B. You know? So that's that for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is Joe in real life. I love you guys. Be good to each other. I'm going to try hard to do the same.